All right, I'm just going to conduct a little interview with you based on persuasion. Can you explain just what your job is?
Yes, I'm an adult probation officer for Bexar County and the surrounding area. I have been in this profession for over 30 years, and persuasion is very much a part of my job each and every day that I come into the office.
Okay, do you have formal training in persuasion, or is it just job-based type, experience-based stuff?
I was interested in law enforcement, and I got my associate's degree from San Antonio College. And while attending San Antonio College, I made up my mind that I wanted to be a probation officer. I transferred from San Antonio College to Sam Houston State University. Upon completion of that, I came back to San Antonio, and within about 9 months after my graduation, I was afforded the opportunity to go to Houston, Texas and start working as a juvenile probation officer in Harris County. I was in Harris County as a juvenile probation officer working with delinquent youth between the ages of 7 and 17, and after about 3.5, 4 years, I decided I was going to make the move and start dealing with the adults. At that point, I was given the opportunity to pursue my master's degree, and this was a funded program. I obtained my master's degree while working as an adult probation officer, and I was afforded the opportunity to begin teaching at the University of Houston during this time span.
Okay, so how would you say persuasion plays a role in your everyday job today?
At this juncture in my career, I've been working with adults for years now, and each and every day is a challenge when you come into the office. We have in excess of 20,000 people in Bexar County on probation, ranging anything from misdemeanor DWIs all the way to murder and more serious crimes. I deal with the high-risk offenders right now, and persuasion is needed, and you need to form a different game plan each and every time someone comes through the door. Keep in mind that our adults here are between the ages of 18 and probably 75 years old. So you really can't deal with an 18-year-old in the same manner that you would deal with someone that's a senior citizen.
Okay, so you do think that there might be differences in how easily people from different age groups might be influenced?
We have career criminals in our system. In that I mean they were arrested when they were 18, 28, 38, and into their 50s. As they develop, and within time, you develop a type of respect for the individual, and the younger ones, when they come into the system, they feel that they're indestructible, they're bulletproof, and they can get away with things that they might have gotten away with when they were juveniles. But being on adult probation is a cold, hard slap in the face once they close those jail doors behind you.
Do you have any go-to strategies that you like to use based on different people or whatever?
Yes, I do. I deal with a lot of respect, and I respect the individual, and I respect their family and where they're coming from. We're dealing with evidence-based practices, which means we have to deal with whatever is really working and not waste a lot of time on things that do not work. I don't do a lot of lecturing. I do a lot of praising and congratulating them for menial tasks to the average person. This could be getting up on time to go to a job interview, making it to a GED class, going to drug counseling. It could be any one of many things, but the persuasion is that, you're going to get a benefit from this, and I'm going to help you rehabilitate yourself, but this is a 50% investment in your behalf. I don't ever tell anybody I'm going to rehabilitate you, but I'll do everything in my power to help you rehabilitate yourself.
Okay, and for someone that might be new to your job, what's some kind of strategy you would recommend for them dealing with someone that just doesn't want to cooperate?
I usually tell the people that are coming in and are training for this type of job that they need to develop their own niche. That, in other words, they need to find out what's going to work best for them. We can't come off as police and just make threats, because that's not going to accomplish a whole lot. Sometimes when we're dealing with people that have had very, very serious problems like addiction, it's difficult because we know how difficult their life is, and sometimes incarceration is going to be the only way out, but they need to find out what's going to work for them, and then tell the officer, then you need to listen to others, see what they're doing to improve, see what they're doing to make their job easier, that'll help you along the way. Oh, and they will get burned. We all get burned in this job.
Okay, so you say you get burned. So are you saying that sometimes you're unsuccessful at persuading people? Is that what you mean by that?
I've had people come in and not be honest with me, and one of the things I do is I am 100% honest with the individuals I deal with. I will tell them if they're messing up that they are very likely going to go to jail or prison, and I will tell them this is what you need to do to make changes in your lifestyle. I will try to persuade them and help them out as much as I possibly can, but we can't change everybody. That's not our job. Our job is to help them in their own rehabilitative efforts. Sometimes we realize this is not going to be accomplished within the first 5 minutes that they come into our office. If you don't want it, it's not going to happen.
So you like to use the threat of jail, kind of, sometimes?
Jail and prison is always something that hangs over their head. That's the carrot we dangle over their head, is that you don't have to go there. If you're on a probated sentence, you can ask that the court consider your case for early termination after you've served either 2 years or 1/3 of your sentence, whichever comes first. I like to encourage them to shoot for this. I like to see them become productive members of society. I tell them that you have to perform every directive as ordered by the court, and my job is to help you stay in line with all this stuff. I will help them as much as I can along the way to reach their goals, and we don't set a lot of long-range goals that are not going to be obtainable. But jail and prison has to hang over their head, because anytime they come into our office, they run the risk of either going to jail or to prison.
Okay, and if you can be specific, what is your biggest moment or biggest achievement that has occurred during your career using Persuasion?
For 21 years, I was part of our gang unit, and I ran the unit. And one of the most difficult things was when we had to have an interagency operation. A lot of the law enforcement officers say, I will not answer to a civilian. And in that case, they're right, I'm a civilian. I needed to win their respect, and a lot of these officers had already worked with me at nighttime in the streets, so I gained their trust and confidence. So when I go over there to talk to their division, and in this case it was a San Antonio SWAT team, we had an operation where we're looking for a Mexican mafia individual. We're tasked with getting this person out of his household, taking him into custody, and bringing him in to answer the charges. And I was calling the shots over about 15 or 20 SWAT officers. I told their commanding officer that I wanted to deal with him, and he was to keep them in line. And if it didn't go the way I instructed, then it was not going to happen, and we would not be successful in this mission. Fortunately, everything went as planned. The officers listened, they learned, I earned their respect, and we continued to have a good working, established, cohesive group, and we worked together on a couple of other ventures, but I put myself out there and gained their trust and confidence. Persuasion, once again.
Okay, so do you ever have any instances dealing with people that you work with that might be your boss or the same level, or on the same kind of level that you are, in which you might have trouble getting everyone on the same page?
Being an officer, not in a management position, you learn that sometimes you might have a better solution. However, you need to do as you're told by your commanding officer. We're afforded opportunities to brainstorm on occasion and bring about things that will be a positive change. I present these to the management teams, and I encourage them by telling them, look what we can do to make our jobs easier. We might want to try this because we can all benefit from it. Time and money are important to everybody in our field, and once again, persuasion comes into play.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have for you at this time. Thank you for cooperating. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.